Okay, I think it's time to... Yeah, I think it's time to panic a little. Okay, hear me out. Zdeno Chara, not playing tonight. John Moore, not playing tonight. Brandon Carlo, not playing tonight. Charlie McAvoy, not playing tonight. Kevin Miller, not playing tonight. Yeah, Connor Clifton, first pair. There's not a lot to be happy about right now. There isn't. Besides Pasternak and Jake DeBrusk, yes. But not a lot to be happy tonight. No, nothing. Nothing really to be happy about coming out of this game versus Colorado. And nothing really happy about looking at this game at Dallas at the moment. Which, new game, you don't know how it's going to go. But this one didn't go our way. It didn't go our way. And the fact we leave this game with 2 injuries to the defense, and I hate to say this, but I kind of wish instead of defensive injuries, we could swap them for offensive injuries because we are extremely hurt at the back end right now and cannot afford to be losing players like Chara and Moore. And the fact that we have like 5 guys who should be on the Providence Bruins playing for the Bruins tonight. I mean, actually 4, because Grizzly and Krug are real Bruins. The other 4, Zaboral, Lozon, Clifton, and Kampfer. Those guys are AHL level players. No disrespect to them, as much as for the Bruins at least they're AHL players. I don't know what you guys think of them big picture, but they should be. And the fact that we have to start 4 of those 6 tonight against Dallas, and the 2 guys who are Bruins are the 2 undersized defensemen known for their offensive capabilities. Our 4 best defensive defensemen are not in tonight versus Dallas with Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Alexander Radulov. At least Klingberg's out for Dallas. Not saying I want him to be injured, but it makes the job a little bit easier for us tonight. It might not be a pretty game. I'm not looking forward to it, but I guess I should talk about this one before I got all worked up about that. But I'm just a little concerned at the moment because everyone's injured on the back end. Okay, let's just talk about this game, though. Let's talk about this game. First thing I noticed watching this game was Jack Edwards said McKinnon came second in the Hart voting to Connor McDavid. Wrong. He came in second to Hart voting to Taylor Hall. So I just wanted to point that out because I found that a little funny that Jack Edwards messed that up. Some nights Jack Edwards makes me mad. Tonight was one of them, especially when he started talking about altitude and started making excuses for this team. Shortly into the game, Pasternak would hit a post after a Landeskog turnover. The Bruins then would have a turnover of their own. Zdeno Chara behind the net turns it over to Mikko Rantanen, and he throws it out front to Landeskog, who has a wide open shot in the slot because Nordstrom gets lost, and he puts it top shelf past Halak. Bad turnover by Chara, bad defense by Nordstrom, and the Avs go up 1-0 early. This goal will be followed by post by Marchand and Backes, and like I said a few videos ago, a shot that hits the post is not a shot on goal. Barberio would go to the box for Colorado, and the Bruins' power play would come on the ice. And Bergeron would hit another post, and that would be 4 posts in the first period. So close, so close. However, on the power play, we would come through when David Krejci gets the puck at the point, takes a slap pass out in front, and Pasternak tips it for his league-leading 17th goal. Still has a 4-goal cushion on the second-place guy, which is Jeff Skinner at the moment. But we didn't expect either of those 2 guys to be first and second at the beginning of the year, but the league is weird. And the Bruins, nonetheless, tie it up 1-1. Halak would make a big save on Gabriel Landeskog to keep the score even at 1-1. So then a very lucky play would happen for Jake DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk would drop his stick in the middle of the ice. He'd look back, realize that the Bruins had numbers back, so he could afford to take the time to go get his stick, and thank God he did. Because Nathan McKinnon is forced to make a turnover. Matt Grzelcyk puts some pressure on him, and Nathan McKinnon coughs it up and throws it out to the middle of the ice, where, guess who's just got his stick? Jake DeBrusk, and Jake DeBrusk is off to the races, supersonic speed, simple move, but a good one, and he beats Semyon Varlamov to go up 2-1 in the first period. I think we should be excited because when Jake DeBrusk is on, this team will go to another level because once that second line starts clicking and rolling on all cylinders, which I think it just might start to, because the offense for the Bruins, no concerns right now really. I feel like their second and third line have picked it up a little bit recently. Right now my biggest concern is health on defense for the Bruins. And Jake DeBrusk, if he gets it going, like I said, good things will happen. The end of the first comes and the game is pretty even. Then we go to the second period, and there's a notable absence. 6'9" absence, 7 foot on skates, some will say. And Zdeno Chara does not come out for the second period, and he would not be seen for the rest of the game. Ooh, is this not good for us at all, at all. They show a replay a little bit into the second, which reveals Chara going for a hit, I believe, on Soderberg on the board, and his knee just twerks out of place. Twerk, usually a dance involving the butt, but in this case I'm using it in terms of the knee. I don't know if that's the right term, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. Chara's out, and it doesn't look like he's coming back relatively soon. It looks like it's at least a few weeks minimum with that type of movement on the knee. I've dealt with knee injuries myself, not fun, and this is bad news for the Bruins. Because your biggest stick, your biggest penalty killer is now out. And not only that, now we have to run 5 defensemen in this game, and half of them have not been with us for a long time. So this is very concerning because the Bruins do have a 2-1 lead, but now they're down a man on defense. So you're wondering how the Bruins will respond. Well, Colin Wilson of the Avalanche would hook David Krejci, and he would go to the box for a 2-minute power play for the Boston Bruins. Early on the Bruins power play, David Pastrnak would get the puck, he'd take a shot, because what does David Pastrnak do? Shoot. David Pastrnak's a shooter, and he shoots, and Jake DeBrusk, who is a savage in front of the net, tips it past Semyon Varlamov for the Bruins to go up 3-1. So the Bruins are in the lead 3-1, 2 power play goals. Still a fairly even game. The Bruins are just doing that work on the special teams, and you're hoping they can hold it down and hopefully just ride the lead, not let up another goal for the rest of the game. You like to see them lock it down. Without Chara, that's tough, but you're looking for those solid defensive plays, and you're looking for them to match the energy of the Colorado Avalanche. And the Bruins don't do this, and Colorado responds by having their first line pin our third line in our own zone for around a minute, and it was a dominant shift, and the fact they didn't score on it was shocking. Colorado's first line is every bit as good as the Bruins' first line, just as good. There's not much really to pick between. If you're saying, oh, we got the better first line, they got the better, it's even. Come on, let's not be like that. It doesn't matter. It's one line. That's not going to win either team a championship. Teams win championships, not one line. It's not the NBA. You can't get by with one guy, one line. You need the whole team clicking. So, wipe that off. These 2 lines are spectacular. With the pace Colorado brought, it would entail penalties, and Pastrnak would take a penalty, and the Colorado Avalanche power play would go to work. Rantanen would get the puck at the top of the circle, takes a shot, doesn't look that harmful, but it just beats Halak, and Colorado would cut the deficit from 3-1 to 3-2, and it felt like the air came out of the balloon a little here. It honestly did. I felt that a little while I was watching the game. Zadorov would interfere with Chris Wagner. The Bruins would go to the power play, and it was a very bad power play. No goal scored for the Bruins on this one. It just looked not that promising. It looked very unthreatening, I guess you could say. It just wasn't a good power play. It was notable to the point I included it. Here's an interesting moment that happens. You got Rantanen diving, and Bergeron called for the hook. And I don't get how you can call someone for a penalty with also a dive. It's like, did the guy dive or did the guy hook the guy? Because he falls for one reason. Either he dove or he was hooked and forced to go to the ground. If you're calling him and you're saying he dove to the ground, that should only be a dive, not a hook. And in this case, I think they got it wrong. But either way, we go to 4-on-4 and no goals will be scored, and it would carry over into the next period. So the Bruins go to the third, still up 3-2, and it felt like Colorado was starting to take momentum. Shots 14-14, seems fairly even, but like I said, Colorado seems to be taking momentum. So the period starts 4-on-4, like I said, no goals to be scored, but 2 minutes into the period, Colorado gets a 2-on-1. Matt Calvert, not really known for being that much of a threat, so you're thinking the Bruins can shut it down here. He takes a shot, which Halak saves, but rebound control not really there. Calvert gets his own rebound, does a spinorama, and I think it hits off something and finds the back of the net. Really unfortunate bounce, and Colorado ties the game up 3-3, and I was not feeling good, and I was thinking the Bruins are going to lose this one at this point. It took the Bruins 6 minutes into this period to get their first shot on net, and that was a 10-minute stretch where the Bruins did not have a single shot. 10 whole minutes. That's 1/6 of the game continuous where they did not have a shot. The speed and pace that Colorado was playing with was a lot to deal with, and the Bruins did not deal with it well, and being down a defenseman does not help at all. 9 minutes into the period, Rantanen carries the puck into the Bruins zone, sucks in Jeremy Lauzon, passes out to his right to McKinnon, who's by himself. He takes a shot, another shot that, from an angle you don't really expect him to score on, but it beats Halak again. Halak did not have a good night, and this was a goal that I would like to see saved. But McKinnon shooting the puck, so I mean, you kind of have to admire the guy who shoots the puck because he's a good shooter, but at the same time, your goalie should probably make the save. Colorado takes the 4-3 lead, and it was not looking good at this point. And this is when Jack Edwards brought up the altitude excuse, and I understand it is a thing. I really do. I understand. I watch the Patriots. They struggle when they play in Denver. Always have, always probably will. But you just can't be making that excuse when you go down by one, because you weren't bringing it up when we were doing a good job in the first. You weren't bringing it up when we were up in the second, and you don't bring it up until we're down in the third. And he was saying, yeah, it starts to hit you in the third, which may be true, but at the same time, it just feels like you're making excuses for their crappy play. They're professional athletes. They should be able to deal with this. Krejci grabs Tyson Jost jersey on the back check, and it was a hold. Jack Edwards was saying, did it really affect the play? Doesn't matter. He still holds him. A hold is a hold, and it just is what it is. It sucks, but we go to the penalty kill. Girard on the power play for Colorado would take a wrist shot from the point. It squeezes through Halak. Rebound control is trash tonight for Halak. Settles on the line, and Tyson Jost just whacks it in the empty net. And Colorado goes up 5-3, and you could stick a knife in us because we were done. A hockey game is 60 minutes. If you only play 40, and they didn't even really play 40, they played like 30 tonight, you're not going to win. You're not going to win when you only match the other team for 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes was not that great for the Bruins, and they deserved to lose this one. The Bruins would eventually pull their goalie, and they would get some good offensive opportunities, but they would not be able to score on Semyon Varlamov, who had a pretty good game, I'd say. I mean, 2 of his goals against him were on the power play, but it felt like he was solid nonetheless. Bergeron, however, would take a penalty with like 45 seconds left, I think. And I don't really blame Bergeron for taking the penalty. He's trying to get the puck off the guy. If he doesn't take the penalty, it might be an empty net goal. So I don't really blame him too much. Colorado goes to the power play. And Carl Soderberg on the power play with about 15 to 20 seconds left in the game takes a slap shot, and Alexander Kerfoot, the Harvard guy, I saw him play at college. I really like Alexander Kerfoot. He tips it in to make the score 6-3, just rubs a little salt in the wound, and the Bruins take the L and drop to 10-6-2. Like I was saying, you got to play the full 60. If you don't match the other team's energy for 60 minutes, you're probably not going to win a game. If you're not matching them for half of the game, you're going to lose. And the Bruins got the score run up against them because they just didn't have the legs to compete with Colorado tonight, it felt like. Jake DeBrusk scoring 2 goals is very nice to see because the second line earlier this year was not that great. And to see that they're more than just Krejci, I should say, more than just Krejci is producing now is great to see. David Pastrnak getting his 17th goal, his league-leading 17th goal, is very good to see. But overall, defensively, just not a good game. So we got Dallas tonight. No Chara, no John Moore. Both were injured in the game. Connor Clifton, who I saw in Providence a week or 2 ago, he looks like he's a fast skater. I'm not sure how he will play at the NHL level. I'm very curious to see how he looks tonight. As with all these guys when they come up, Zaboral is going to be playing tonight, so that should be very interesting to see as well. He's making his NHL debut. And really just interested to see how the Bruins defense looks. I'm not too optimistic, but I'm interested. And, you know, that's all you can ask for going into a game is to be interested to see what you see. Hopefully I like what I see, and I'm not just upset at how bad we are defensively, because it could get really ugly with all these young guys out there. Tuukka Rask is making his return after his leave of absence for his first start since then, which he just took like 3 days off, which it's not a long leave of absence, so it must have been something minor in his life. But he gets a start tonight against Ben Bishop at the Dallas Stars. Should be interesting to see how both of them play. Let's just read the Bruins' defensive pairs before I leave you tonight. Torrey Krug and Connor Clifton on your first pair. Jeremy Lauzon and Matt Grzelcyk your second pair. And Zaboral and Camphor as your third pair. That's all I have time for you today. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button down below. If you want to comment. I respond to all of them. And hit that subscribe button to support my channel. Hit the notification button. It will notify you every time I post. And I will see you next time.